All right, so first thing first, let's see the plan that we can use. We have Lucid Pro, Lucid Flex, and Lucid Direct. But there are some things to keep in mind. So now we are going to break every plan down to understand better what to choose and what are the conditions. But first thing first, I want to show you a trick. So look here, every plan you choose, you have like 30% discount or something like that. But look, if you choose the platform that you want, so let's go with Rhythmic just for the sake of this example. And look, if you use this special coupon code and type in BESTOFFER, click on apply coupon and look what happened. Now you have a 50% off, all right? So keep this in mind and I'll give you a link in the description so you can have this discount too. Now let's have a look at plans. Always keep in mind that this is a one-time fee, so you have no monthly recurring fees. It's just the final price for your account, whether you pass or not, right? Because you have no activation fee. And the activation, when you pass the account, is in a matter of minutes. You do not have to wait the day after, right? Another important thing is the profit target of 3,000 and a max loss of 2,000. And this is a standard ratio for like 99% of the firm in the industry, right? Another thing to keep in mind is that after 6 payouts, you will be moved to live, all right? So let's get in. First thing first, we are looking at the 50K accounts for these examples. So on the website, at first look, everything looks fine and they push you to buy the Lucid Pro account. Now, there are some things to know. And the Lucid Pro maybe will be not the best plan to choose. Let's have a look. As for all the 50K account, you will have 4 mini to trade or 40 micro, and you can have a maximum of 5 funded accounts, all right? Or 10 evaluations, basically. Anyway, with Lucid Pro, on the evaluation plan, you can pass in just 1 day, but you have a daily loss limit of $1,200 and a max loss of $2,000. You have no consistency and no scaling, so that's pretty good. Now, let's have a look at the funded rules. So in the funded rules, you have a daily loss limit of $1,200, but when you reach $2,000 in profit, so basically you go above your max allowed loss, your daily loss limit is calculated based on your total profit from the end of the previous day, right? And it's the 60%. That means that if you have $3,000, your new daily loss will be $1,800, right? So your daily loss limits keep moving while you gain profits. And a great thing is that these do not decrease. So you reached 3,000. You get a new daily loss limit of 1,800. Now, if your profits drop, your daily loss limit still $1,800, right? So that's great. Now, another thing that you need to keep in mind is the consistency rule, because here you have it and you need to follow it if you really want payout. So let's see how it works. The consistency rule of 40% means that to request a payout, your biggest day, do not have to exceed the 40% of your total profits, all right? And if you request a payout, let's say you made $5,000, you request $2,000. Now you have $3,000 on your balance. Now, the consistency rules is not calculated on the 3,000, right? The consistency rule starts always from 0, right? So keep in mind this thing. Now, a good thing, a very good thing, is that you do not have a scaling rule. So you basically have 4 mini or 40 micros to use from day one, right? That's pretty cool. Now you have a profit split of 90%, but this is on every account, so there's no difference. You can ask a minimum payout of $500, and even this is across the board. You have a minimum profit target of $500, so you need to make at least $500. But if we have a problem, now we'll see why, we can ask a payout in 3 days, and the maximum payout is 2,500. Now, what's the problem here? Yes, the minimum profit target is $500, but you need to always keep a buffer here. So that means you cannot go below the buffer with your payout. That means to ask your minimum payout of $500, you need to make at least your maximum loss limit, so 2,000 plus 100, and you cannot go below this buffer, below this safety net. So to make your first request, you need to make at least $2,600 to request $500, right? So I think that this is the big problem of this plan, so I would not recommend it. Now, let's see at the Lucid Flex. And here the things start becoming pretty interesting. Why is that? The days to pass are 2. Why? Because you have the consistency rule, all right? And anyway, you can think that, all right, but it's impossible to be so precise to pass in 2 days. Now, that's the great thing. By the way, to pass all these accounts, you need to make a profit target of $3,000, right? Keep these in mind. So to pass your evaluation in 2 days without breaking the 50% rule, you need to do 2 days with $1,500. But here is the thing, you have $60 cushion, right? So that means you don't need to be precise. You can just do 2 days with, for example, 1,520 or 30 or 40, everything till maximum 60, right? So this is the cushion that you have. So you can actually pass this account in 2 days. Now, the great thing, even in the evaluation, is that you have no daily loss limit. You have a maximum loss of $2,000, pretty standard for the industry, 50% consistency rule, and you have no scaling plan. You have no scaling plan, so these are the basic rules for the evaluation. Now, let's have a look at the funded account. What do we have? We have no loss limit even here. We have 2,000 max loss, as always, but the real deal is that we do not have any kind of consistency. So that means that 99% of the prop firm in the industry will punish you if you have like a very big day. Maybe you have a trend in your favor, so you let the trade run. You have a big day, and a lot of prop will punish this with the Lucid Flex, and this is the real deal. You do not have this problem anymore. So you can do $1 million day, right? Without any kind of problem. You have a scaling plan, so that means that you cannot use 4 mini or 40 micros from day one, all right? So let's break it down. From 0 to 1,000, you can use 2 minis or 20 micros, right? From 1,000 till 2,000, you can use 3 minis or 30 micros. After 2,000, you are allowed to trade with 4 minis or 40 micros, right? So this is the scaling plan. And I think it's pretty fair because with 2 minis or 20 micros, you can do really interesting profits. So it's pretty easy to scale. Of course, you have 90% profit split. You have a minimum payout of $500. And the great thing is that you do not have a minimum profit target, all right? And for asking a payout, you need to trade at least 5 days with $150. I think this is pretty easy to make. So now, how much you can request maximum for payout? You can request the 50% of your profits till a maximum of $2,000. So let's make an example. Your max payout, if you made $3,000, you can ask the 50%. So basically you can ask $1,500 because it's below the 2,000 mark. All right. If you made 5,000, you can ask 50% as always, and that's 2,500, but it's above the 2,000. So you will be capped at $2,000, right? You will request $2,000, all right? And I think that's great because, guy, you do not have any kind of safety net, any kind of buffer. The only rule is that from your last payout, you need to have at least $1 in profit. That's the thing, all right? So let's take these as an example. You requested your payout at $3,000. You ask 1,500. So now your total profit, your total balance in your account is 1,500. To request the payout, you need to do at least 5 days with $150, and your balance need to be at least $1,501. All right. So if you did 5 days in profit, but after you had a streak of losses and you come back to $1,501, you can request a payout. That's the great thing, right? It's the closest thing to a personal account, and this is incredible. So basically, let's delete everything. I have a lot of experience with prop firm, and right now I can say that this is the best plan you can get in the industry right now, hands down. Now, let's see at the Lucid Direct, the last one. Basically, in red, you see what I really do not like, and I think you have a better options. The Lucid Direct is a straight to funded account, so you do not have an evaluation phase. You are just funded from day one. The problem is that you have a consistency rule of 20%, and I think this is just too much. If you like it, you can go with it, all right? But I think you have better option like Tradeify. Tradeify has a plan called Lightning Funded, and I'll give you a link in the description, that have a much better rules, right? And if you really want to skip evaluation, I think you will never find something better than this, all right? So I would not talk about this Lucid Direct too much because I think that it's just not worth it. So a quick recap, the Lucid Pro is a okay plan, but really nothing to be excited about. The Lucid Flex, I think it's the best plan in the industry right now, and the Lucid Direct is just not worth it. So now you know everything about Lucid Trading, and now you know which plan fits the best for you. If you like this video, just give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments what's your favorite prop firm. Hope you the best profits, and see you in the next video.